Yeah, currently at the time of recording, we have 64 subscribers.
Thank you. We
We're
appreciate you.
we're over halfway to 100. Make sure you guys subscribe
You
and
should
just
definitely. All
demolish that like button.
first one to get to 100 subs gets a crisp thank you from me and Al.
Yes, out of the two of us running the same channel, the first person to get to 100 subs wins.
Exactly. So,
So yeah,
will you be the number 100?
yeah.
Anyway, on today's episode, we got ourselves another spooky, scary story, and this one
Shocker.
should be a special one because it is.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Go ahead.
say who it's by, or do you want me
Yeah,
to?
sure. This is the February 2023 winner and best series winner of 2023 from No Sleep, Scary Max. So apparently they released a story or a series last year that was rooted best of the year. They put out a story so good that they were awarded that title by No Sleep. So this should be interesting. This only came out 20 hours ago at the time of recording. So it's fairly new. So
Hot off the press, the pen is
yep.
still on fire. Wrong pipe. All right. You want to read? Or do you want me to read?
Yeah, I could start this one off. You read most of it last time, so let me start it off.
Okie dokie.
Excuse me. Starting from the time I was born, I grew up in a small room on the third floor of my family's country estate. In most ways, the room was ordinary, painted in a pale pink color that I loved until I didn't, and and tastefully furnished with a double bed, a white writing desk, and ample shelves to display my beloved collection of stuffed rabbits. The only unusual feature of my room was the closet, featuring a door of glass and painted concrete. What the fuck? That
Is he
door's
in a basement?
stupid. No, it's the third floor of a house.
Featuring a door
You know,
of glass
side
and
story,
painted
side rant.
concrete.
Okay, side rant. I did a install at a house where you went into the attic of the house and there was a concrete roof, like on the second story where the boiler and like the water heater and everything was, but it was concrete. Like the whole room was concrete.
That's
But
kind
it's
of
on
wild.
on the attic. And I was like, "What?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, check this out, dude." He goes, "It's all concrete." And I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like the guy was paranoid of something catching on fire. So he just, I mean, it makes sense, but because concrete doesn't typically burn, just like
I
jet fuel
dig
doesn't
it.
melt steel beams.
Yes.
Remember, I can swim.
Yes, we can swim. We can both swim. No floaties needed.
No floaties needed. The closet was locked at all times. The door itself was large, perhaps a foot taller than a standard one, and twice as wide. Though the glass looked fairly new, parts of the door looked old. Perhaps they weren't concrete at all, but rather carved stone. Inset into the rock were strange symbols that looked like arrows and birds. It's witchcraft. That's why it's upstairs. The line, excuse me, the line all straight chiseled. Um, when I asked what was inside, my father told me it contained dangerous electrical wiring that would kill me in an instant if I ever touched it.
Okay, so
Wow.
the father knows what's in there and clearly doesn't want him in there.
Probably, or I say he would know what is actually in there, and he's just
Yes.
telling the child to
Don't touch it.
Yeah. So for the first few years of my life, I suppose I believed all of that, just as I believed in Santa Claus. What do you mean?
Yeah, what does he mean by that? I'm very
What do you mean
confused.
believed in Santa?
I'm confused.
Like, did he stop believing in Santa?
He must have stopped getting gifts and getting coal, so he just said,
Oh,
"Fuck
so
you."
he's like, "Fuck you, Santa. I don't
He
believe
probably
in you
just
no
gave up
more."
on him, pretty much.
Because, as far as I can tell, Santa's real.
I mean, if you stop believing in him, you stop getting
Wait a
gifts,
minute.
So.
As I believed in Santa Claus and angels and other nonsense, angels aren't real?
What?
Are you kidding me?
This kid is delusional.
delusional, dude.
He
If you don't,
deserves everything that's
I'm gonna
happening to him.
stop myself. I was.
So pretty much, the way this status of this character is, he deserves everything getting thrown at him.
Everything coming to him. Yeah. He's on the
Okay.
moral low ground. Then one day, when I was 4 or 5, trying to sleep at night, I heard something from the closet. A muffled cough.
Oh, fuck that! Oh my god, could you imagine?
What? Oh,
No,
I thought I
just
scared you with
no,
my
no,
cough.
no, no. Just middle of the fucking night, you just hear a cough from your closet.
You want to know something about the middle of the night?
What?
Another side story. I woke up 1:30 last night, okay? This is
Okay.
a real fucking story.
Okay.
And I hear this weird, like, beep, 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 beep kind of deal, okay? So, you know that we have a bat problem in the attic right now.
I don't know.
Okay, well, we do. So,
good to
I
know.
wake up and I go, what the fuck is that noise? And then I close my eyes for a little bit because I'm tired as fuck. So I wake up again and I still hear it and it sounds further away. So I get up, go and investigate it. Our ginger cat has a bat in her mouth. It got inside the fucking house.
Ah! At least the cat got it though.
Yeah, the cat was playing with it like it was a toy.
Oh no.
So I had to figure out how I was gonna get that fucker outside. So I let it go outside. So I almost it almost sounded far away through the closet was no more than though the closet was no more than 5 feet from my bed. At first, I dismissed it. I dismissed it as my cough. Whoops, I dropped something. It almost sounded. Wait, what the fuck? Am I crazy? Dismissed it as my imagination.
Yep.
Then, more certainly, this time I heard it 2 coughs in a row, muffled as if behind a very thick wall. My heart raced. My bladder emptied. He pissed himself right then and there, dude.
I mean,
right then and there.
What
Are you, a fucking baby?
What are you doing if you just hear someone? If you're alone in your bedroom at night and you just hear some coughing going down in your closet, it's like.
Well, when I was younger, I used to collect like knives.
Yeah.
Anytime I went to a state, I would buy a knife from like a store there.
Okay.
So my ass as a kid, thinking I was going to be cool, would grab a knife and like, this is fucking embarrassing. I would like military CQB clear corners, but with a knife in my hand. As if I was going to do anything as like a fucking 12-year-old.
That's funny.
Anyway, so their movements were quick and methodical. Wait, I'm sorry. What the fuck?
I think
my heart raced, my bladder emptied. I called for my mother as loud as I could. She and my father both ran up the stairs in an instant. Their movements were quick and methodical. My mother turned on the lights, and my father edged. Oh God! Oh, he was edging.
He's edging.
It was the mom gooning.
Oh God!
And my father edged towards the window. Oh, I hope that he doesn't It was only after my eyes adjusted to the light I realized he was carrying a gun. Nice, dude.
I mean,
me,
fair.
I would be carrying a knife. Not the window, I said. The closet. My parents exchanged a glance, and my mother gave an audible sigh of relief. There's nothing in the closet, she said, stroking my hair. Now, let's change these sheets and pajamas and get you back to bed. As time went on, sorry.
No, it's just the, not the window, the closet, and they both go, "Oh, thank God!"
Oh,
okay.
Thank God!
Yeah.
It was just the electrical wiring that'll kill you.
It's just the guy we have in there because we don't want to tell you about it.
He's the guy that edges your father.
I got a prediction. It's his brother he didn't know he had. Boom. I don't know, because the parents know about it, so.
Yeah. Well, the only way to keep snakes locked up is to put them in a concrete, room, so it's probably that.
And the electrical wires from all the heating, because the snakes need heat.
Yes, exactly. Snakes need heat. They're cold-blooded animals, so it only makes sense.
Snake suit man.
Yes.
And
he's continued from the other story.
And
we never get an actual answer of what the last guy was. So to me, he is 400 snakes in a human skin body or a human skin suit. I noticed other strange things about the room. Once my parents refused to let me visit town for the 100th time, I angrily tossed my chair at the bedroom window. Sure, it would smash into a million pieces. It did not. Instead, the chair bounced off harmlessly off the glass and ended up clocking me in the face, giving me a nasty cut. Nice. That's good. It's bulletproof glass, so you don't jump out, fucking kill yourself.
I'm playing
That's
the.
probably why.
Is Homeboy in a insane asylum?
No, I'm just joking. But like, it wouldn't make sense to have tougher glass on the third floor in case a kid fell out of the window.
I
You know,
mean, yeah. How old is our character? Do we know?
we have no idea.
Okay, because now
I would assume like early teens, maybe, because they peed themselves. So
true.
unless they're like 35 and they just immediately pissed themselves at at the sound of a cough, then that would be funny. But I don't believe that's what it is.
Do you know of a scene to where somebody throws something at the window and it bounces back? Because
Yeah,
I was gonna
actually,
play that on the screen.
I can probably find one.
Okay.
I've definitely seen it in movies before.
Because I'm gonna slowly start trying to
Yeah, do like
put
little
shit on the
edits.
screen. Because that's just that's actually funny to imagine.
Yeah, later, I looked more closely at the glass and realized it was thick. It was caked up. So was the glass on the windows downstairs, and even the car. What? Though we rarely traveled, in fact, it was only on rare occasions we left the estate. The estate.
Hmm.
Instead of school, I was taught with a series of private tutors, who educated me in Latin and Greek and mathematics. My family is rich.
Bro, he made the worst fucking noise right before his bark. He
What
made
was
like
the
a
noise?
goblin. And then
That's
bark.
because pugs can't breathe, my guy.
Hang on.
On every visit, my father searched these men thoroughly, turning out pockets and looking about their mouths with a tongue depressor and a flashlight. Once I asked maybe it is a fucking mental asylum.
I'm very
Uh,
turning out pockets and looking about their mouths with the tongue.
yeah, he's literally making sure they're not smuggling anything in their mouths.
That's kind of weird. Maybe it
Yeah,
is.
sounds like
I've
maybe it is in a mental asylum.
and maybe the closet's actually not a closet and it's just like the next door.
It's in a fucking room.
Oh shit! Yes,
That would explain the glass.
that would explain the glass
And
and
it's
the
supposed to
cough.
be soundproof, but the motherfucker coughed and was like, oh, and he freaked
Shit.
out. Like
Pissed himself.
that would.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's creepy as fuck. 1 second. Once I asked my Latin tutor about the symbols on my closet, he spent a bit of time examining them, looked perplexed. What are they? I asked. Hieroglyphics? No, he said. I'd say cuneiform, except that I don't recognize about half of the symbols. These others are different than any I've seen. How familiar are you with cuneiform, though? I asked. Very. On the way out of the house, I saw the scholar talking to my father. My father kept his face stony and glanced up at me once or twice, nodding his head. The next week, a new tutor arrived. I was allowed ample television time. Fuck. I knew that my situation was different than most. Indeed, I was being treated more like a Renaissance princess than a modern day girl. Okay, so we can assume that the character is a girl.
Yes.
Am I sick? I asked my father one day, or at dinner one day when I was 9. Okay, so at least a little older than 9, if not 9.
Yeah.
And he and my mother exchanged a look. Are you worried that your tutors are contagious? Of course not, said my father. Am I a vampire then? A witch? A monster of some sort? Not even a bit, not even a bit, said my mother, laughing a bit now. Am I a princess? I asked. A countess? Well, if you don't learn math, you won't know how to countness anything, or countess anything. Fuck. A lady of some sort. My parents exchanged a look. You are not, my father said. Finally said, "You're
No,
fucking
bitch,
lame.
you ain't special.
Yeah, you born as shit.
Oh man.
We just want to keep you safe." Beneath the table, my fist curled into balls, and am I meant to be kept as a prisoner forever? I asked. I expected my father to roll his eyes to dismiss my question as he always did. Instead, he simply said no and returned to cutting his pork chop into tiny pieces. My parents were an unbreakable vault of secrets. My tutors refused to speak of anything about anything but their assigned subjects. I had no playmates, and so I began to talk to whoever lived in my closet. I knew someone was there. So yeah, I mean, like, as they got older, they kind of processed that something's not right. So yeah.
This whole like living quarters is just weird in a way. Like it's also I'm just trying to figure it out as we're going. So I mean, obviously we'll figure it out here soon. But
Maybe they're like they got like superpowers or some shit.
well, the main character is throwing out, or the writer at least is throwing out keywords
Mm-hmm.
like "Am I a prisoner forever?"
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so then now I think we should be leaning more towards it's an insane asylum or something like that, and that is an observed room.
And he didn't even specify. So I'm thinking about it now. He says, she says, "Am I meant to be a prisoner forever?" I asked. And then my father just simply said no. He didn't specify that she wasn't a prisoner, though.
Yeah, he just rolled his eyes.
Yeah. And
Oh
was
no,
like,
she expected him to. Never mind.
yeah, yeah. But he just said no.
No.
So it's very serious. Like, you will not be a prisoner forever. But I'm not saying that you're not a prisoner.
Yeah, so that's
So,
weird.
yeah.
Weird. And the fact that she's getting different tutors is also kind of interesting.
Yeah, as soon as she asked the one about the symbols, he just never came back again. So I wonder if like the father like killed him or some shit.
I would say the tutor was like, "Oh, he was asking about this."
Mm-hmm.
And the father's like, "All right, well, we'll call you when you need you." And then they just don't call
I,
him back.
I would assume almost that he changed tutors because he saw that the daughter was getting really comfortable with that tutor.
Probably.
So he changed it so that way she wasn't comfortable about talking about anything else besides their subject. So
That makes sense.
I wonder if you're a man or a woman. I began to speak into the dark one day. Or perhaps you're not just one person. Perhaps you are many. There are many of you. Or perhaps you're not a person at all. Perhaps you're a pack of monsters, snakes, trapped in by a witch's curse. Perhaps you're a ghost haunting me. The closet did not respond, but I kept talking anyway. It's okay if you can't say anything. I suppose we're all bound by rules of some kind. But I know you're there. I heard you cough. I think I heard you sneeze once too. My ears are pretty good. Sometimes I think I hear you breathing. You good?
Yeah, Kirsten was just staring at me. I was trying to figure out what she needed. But I'm
Do you
good
need to
now.
pause?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. I kept talking anyway. I went on like that for hours. Some nights treating the thing in my closet like my personal diary. Treating the thing in my closet like a personal diary. It was a good listener after all. I suppose over time, it became my closest friend, my closest friend. That's a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Then one night, I woke up to the sound of an explosion, followed by my mother screaming from far away. Then came the rapid staccato of gunfire and eerie silence. Jesus Christ. I looked outside to see 3 black vans parked outside and half a dozen men pointing guns at my window. Then came the thwack of bullets against the glass. At first, they had no effect, but then the first cracked form. I was about to scream when I turned to see my closet door opening. Something big came out. I think it might have been a person, except there was 3 or 4 of them the size of my father. Through the dark of my room, I could tell that it was dressed in some kind of skin tight suit, all made of black scales that seemed to shimmer in the moonlight. The suit seemed to cover every inch in his face. He had no hair as far as I could tell, and above his eyebrows was a ring of pro- protrusions. I don't know that word.
I think it's protrusion. Protrusion.
I don't even know how to fucking pronounce the damn thing.
We'll just say
Something that bulges out or is.
a
Fuck, I
protrusion.
can't. Protrusion? Okay,
Yeah, we'll
that
just
might
say
have
that.
been horns. Okay, so fuck. If I just kept reading. Get in the closet, it said, its voice lower than any man's. Um, his hands began to tense, and his fingers seemed to lengthen into knives. Don't open the door for anybody but me. Just then, the window exploded, and quicker than I would have thought possible. The thing threw its body between me and the breaking glass. Without another word, it hoisted me into the closet as if I were a sack of flour, and then slammed the door behind me. The first thing I noticed from inside the closet was the mirror was it. Fuck. That the mirror was one way. So, like I thought, he was watching. It's creepy as fuck. It was a one-way mirror. I could see out perfectly through the glass. It occurred to me that the thing had been watching me every night since I was a baby. The second thing I noticed was a normal-sized man, in some kind of military uniform running up the stairs, his gun already firing. A pair of bullets caught the creature in the gut, but it barely winced. Paz on sight. Holy fuck. I've never seen one this. And he gets cut off. Before the man could utter another word, the thing changed into a man swinging its long fingers, slicing him in half at the waist. The man's walkie-talkie buzzed over his corpse. Cowboy, you still there? What age? What age Paz were we talking? So Paz is the name of the creature.
I guess so.
What size? Cowboy? More bullets cut through the room. The thing descended the stairs. I heard another scream. Whatever soundproofing existed in the room seemed to also work one way. Scream after scream carried their way to my ears, along with bursts of gunfire. I watched the bullets cut through my mattress, sending bursts of feathers into the air. You gross feather mattress. I'm not sure how long it went on like that. Perhaps 10 minutes, perhaps an hour. I shook with fear. I cried. At least I didn't wet myself this time. Then finally, it was over. I heard a heavy thud of footsteps coming up the stairs. The creature appeared, and it held its hand at the door, which opened automatically at its touch. More will come. Sorry. More will come, he said after a few minutes. A bit of blood was dripping from his sharp teeth. I wasn't sure if it was his or someone else's. Come.
Hey.
Then it reached for me, and I collapsed into its arms. The last thing I saw before I passed out were two black wings unfolding from its back. Jesus. Jesus
so
Christ.
it's basically a demon.
Something like that. Or maybe it's Santa Claus and an angel combined together. The things that she literally doesn't believe in.
Yo, it's Krampus.
It could be Krampus. Do you want to take over from here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I woke up the next day in a bedroom that was completely unfamiliar. Odd sculptures of men with elongated faces lined an entire wall of the room, staring at me with contorted grins. Before long, a woman I recognized as a distant aunt entered holding a tray of dates and tea. I looked at them suspiciously, but I was starving, and I figured if she meant to kill me, I'd be dead. Do you want to read the quotes?
Yeah. My parents. Your legal guardians will be missed. she said. Why did this happen? There are some things that you're better off not knowing. I suppose the most I can say is that we come from a very old family, maybe the oldest family whose roots go back to the dawn of human history. Um, For from time to time, a question of succession arises. The rules are rather arcane, but it's not strictly father to son, mother to daughter. More important are the number of surviving cousins, brothers, and sisters, that sort of thing.
So they're. I'm just gonna take a guess that they're fucking vampires.
Yeah, that would check out. Like maybe like when the vampire thing plays, if it turns out, put the clip of them being like, sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
I was trying to take in everything she was saying, but in truth, I was nervously glancing around the room. There was no closet here, no protector. I had never felt so alone. My aunt continued, often there is bloodshed, sometimes a bloodbath. For years, the families lie in wait, knowing the moment of bloodletting will eventually arrive, and then everyone moves at once until things are sorted out. It's the reason we employ certain protectors. My heart was beating fast again. For many years, you were seventh in line. Then, for a moment, you were fifth. Then third. Then, well, something terrible happened to several families, and now here we are with a new queen already selected and 100 people ahead of you to be next in line after her. Lucky you, I suppose.
Wow.
Wait, so is she the queen now?
She's the queen now, the Queen of England.
I couldn't stop crying.
She would go on to live to be 100.
Yeah. I couldn't stop shaking. Where is in the closet? I asked.
Oh, where is then closet? I asked.
Fucking what?
Okay, I don't know though.
Your protector has been reassigned, she explained. You don't need him anymore. The years that followed were hard. I went to live with unfamiliar relatives who knew little of my previous life. My new room was smaller, with barely room for a small desk and a dresser. I had no closet. Suddenly, I was middle class, treated like a normal child. My new family had been told that I'd been through some sort of trauma, but struggled to understand why I shied away from the window. When I tried to speak to the other children, I came off like an encyclopedia, spouting occasionally, occasional phrases in dead language and facts about empires of Rome.
What the fuck?
I aged, growing into a teenager, getting swept up into the world. I still remember the first day I was allowed to walk on my own to school. I reached a major intersection, didn't even cross when the signal came on. I was so enthralled looking in all four directions, knowing I could walk any way I chose, off into the seemingly infinite world. By the time I reached college, my early childhood had almost started to feel like a distant dream. I had adapted, or at least learned, to put on a faked facade of a normal person. I hadn't had a boyfriend yet, and my friendships were awkward and surface level. But it seems I was on track to eventually integrate into the world. One day, my sophomore year, I borrowed a friend's most revealing outfit and walked through the bits cold in oh god, walked through the biting cold to a holiday party. The lightly falling snow immediately summoned goosebumps on my bare skin, but I pressed on, eager to be a part of the world. At the party,
Okay, time out real quick. You
What you
can
got?
tell they're American because they said goosebumps because everybody else says goose pimples.
I know. Goosebumps.
No, that's a thing.
I can't
Like
say
like British
goose
people say
pimples
goose
sound
pimples.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds gross. Yeah.
that's why British are dumb.
Take that.
At the party, I drank far too much and ended up sharing my first kiss with an older guy, a senior
Uh-oh.
with a bad reputation.
Uh-oh.
I looked for my friends but couldn't find them. The boy kept offering me drinks, and before too long, he was walking me home, his hand already playing with the back straps of my dress.
Jesus Christ.
We particularly fell. Yeah.
Yeah.
We particularly fell into my place, a little cottage my family had rented near campus. The boy had something upsetting by that point. I wanted him to go, but he wasn't really listening. You owe me. He's British now.
You owe me. He kept saying, "You invited me here, just a little something, just a little."
I tried to push him away, but he was twice my size. He had me on the floor, wrist pinned.
You may need to put up a trigger warning before we get to this part.
There it is. That was a trigger warning. Just
Yeah.
trigger
So
warning.
just a heads up, trigger warning for SA.
I think I know
And
what's
possible
about to
physical
happen.
abuse. I think I do too.
I don't think he's gonna make it that far. He's gonna get right there, and then it did. Huh? He said, suddenly noticing something in the corner. Oh, we we didn't even make it that far.
Literally the trigger warning was late.
Yeah, I mean that was it. All right. Huh? He said, suddenly noticing something in the corner of my room. What's that? I turned and there it was. Just as I remembered. The closet. It hadn't been there that morning. Now suddenly it was back. Just as if it had been there all along. You should go, I said. I wasn't afraid anymore. Suddenly the boy seemed small. I don't think so, he said, tightening his grip. You're hurting me, I said, but I wasn't really talking to him anymore. Only a little bit, he said, smiling. Last chance, I said, and he let one of my arms go, but it was only to start unbuckling his belt. I heard the clank of his buckle hit the floor, then the creak of the closet door. It was the last sound he ever heard.
Well, that's dope.
That was
so
cool.
literally, it's just a guardian angel, or maybe angel.
I think it is. No, I think it is like an actual. I would honestly consider it being a guardian angel.
Biblically accurate angels are like real creepy looking, so that would check out. So it's most likely that then.
Yeah. No, that was actually pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect the story to skip a lot of time and then to go where it did, but it's cool to see that this protector, was like there for them. So
exactly, it was like, yeah, because at first, like the first half, like the whole first half of the story is just her as a child, and we're just learning like, okay, there's a creepy closet, kind of weird. What's in the closet? And then the whole time jump at the end there was kind of weird. It was like, all right, where are we going with this?
And then it's like something that I wish we could get a little bit more about is what she was the queen of.
Yeah, which I think we may have read that different. I think she was about to be in line, but then
everything happened. Okay.
Well, I think she got skipped by a shit ton of people.
Okay. And then that's why the aunt said "lucky you," so that you could avoid being the queen.
Then for a moment you were fifth, then third, then something terrible happened to several families, and now here we are with a new queen already selected and 100 people ahead of you to be next in line.
Okay, so she literally got kicked to the end of the line.
Was special, thrown away.
Wow.
Okay. I guess we did kind of I mean, but also,
Yeah.
yeah, that's also where I was like, where's this whole queen shit come involved? Because she's in college now. Well, other than that, I enjoyed that
Yeah,
for sure.
that was pretty good. I'm gonna give it like a 7.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8 because it had a
Yeah.
good ending. If y'all enjoyed, hit that like, subscribe, comment down below which you guys would like to hear us read next.
Yeah, if you've got any suggestions, please let us know.
Because we'll definitely read them for sure.
And while you're at it, if you're scrolling down in the comments, check out the description. The link to the story is in the description. And also, Scissor.com, where we currently are still in development of our own merch for the YouTube channel. And if you want it, that is the place to go when it comes out. We will make an announcement for when the merch does come out, but make sure you just keep an eye out for it. We've got a lot of cool things going on at Scissor right now.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Good interjection.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah, bye.